Breaking news, after more than 3 months of people calling for really anything approaching even something like justice in the tragic killing of Breonna Taylor, we have found out that this morning, Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer says that Brett Hankison, one of the police officers involved in that shooting, has been fired. And that's good news. But it's one of the cops has been fired, and that's it. And it took 3 months of nation. I know, Brett. It seems crazy at this point. Like, it's breaking news, and it's good news, and so we're saying it. But it took almost 100 days of nationwide protests to get one cop fired.
Just 1/3 of half of what I asked for happened.
Exactly. And
so I'm choked up, as you can see.
No, obviously we're choked up because it's incredibly serious. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming at this point that people know the details of the case, but she's a 26-year-old black woman who was killed while doing absolutely nothing wrong in her own home as a result of a no-knock warrant that never should have been initiated in the first place. But that's the good news. It seems weird.
I will say this. I'm a little shocked that this happened because I read the incident report, and I can't believe they have enough to fire this guy because according to the incident report that they wrote, nothing happened. So that's going to be a tough one to back. I just go by the evidence that's produced by unbiased sources within police departments, and it's just strange that they're able to do it. Here's my favorite quote about what has happened from Mayor Greg Fischer of the Louisville Metro area.
Mm-hmm.
He said, unfortunately, due to a provision in state law that I would very much like to see changed, both the chief and I are precluded from talking about what brought us to this moment or even the timing of this decision. So it's also like a sad testament, but I want to be hopeful today. So it is a testament to the movement itself. It's sad that it takes this many people this long to get this little. But
yeah,
it's also like he can't even talk about why or how he got there. But that's one law going against justice in this case. And it took him this long, and he can't talk about it. And an incident report that is empty, but they fired a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like and the reason for it is because of people out in the streets rightfully pointing out that this should never have happened. And this is the guy that, quote, blindly shot 10 rounds. And that's what they mentioned when they fired him.
Exactly. And yeah, like they say, we can't talk about what led us to this decision. I'm imagining there's some context from around the country. But again, 3 months. And that incident report where her injuries were listed as no injuries. Someone should be fired over that. What is that? How do you submit that and think, well, the entire country is laser focused on what we're doing and not doing in this case, so it should be fine that we're going to list her as not being injured after we shot her multiple times.
Yeah.
Insane.
I mean, right now, I'm just going back to, like, we're paying for this. Like, we paid for this. And if there's one thing I think that Republicans can get behind, it's stop wasting my tax dollars on terrible, terrible government waste. And that's what this aspect of the police department is. They paid someone to make that report that had nothing in it. I mean, all the other obvious issues aside, but like at the very least, can you come around with me on that? We paid for someone to go into go into the house where this woman was just sleeping, not tell anyone who you are, by law, not having to do that, not knocking and just shooting.
Yeah.
Come on.
Absolutely insane. Well, that's the breaking news. We'll see what else comes. I can say that based on my viewing of social media, the reaction has been what you would expect. That seriously, this is what you're giving people. One cop has been fired after 3 months of drawing a salary while not having to work, and others are still out there and literally nothing has happened.
I always think of like The Wire, where they're like, "You're gonna have to take the fall. Sorry, you're gonna have to take this one."
Maybe, but man, imagine sitting in a room. Let's say that is the plan, thinking that'll work. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.